In the past, I have subjected people to rating characters from strategy games that they have yet to play before. 1, to test their assessment, and 2, to get a good laugh and a good kick out of it. But now the tables have been turned on me. Someone from the Wargroove community has invited me to start rating characters from Wargroove, a game that I have never played before. This is a multi-part series, so feel free to keep up if you'd like to, and please enjoy the video. Yeah, for now.
All right, moving on to our final faction, the Faahri Republic.
The rats.
Yes. All right, first off, we have researcher Pistil. Pistil has the groove Chain Reaction, where she basically electrocutes an entire group of units. So what this does is she selects an adjacent unit, and then starts chain electricity that travels through all of them, decaying with the more units it goes through. Do note that this will hit your own units and will chain off your own units.
Can you control?
It starts at.
Can you control the chain?
No, it will just spread to all units adjacent to another unit in the chain.
Oh, okay. What happens if it's diagonal?
I think you understand what the answer to that question is going to be.
Yeah.
No, it will not spread diag.
Okay. So what about like a 2x2 box? Say you put enemies in a 2x2 box, and she just like attacks.
It will spread. It's like.
Will the one that's like adjacent to 2 units take double electricity?
No, it will not. All the unit, it just checks whether all units are in the chain and does damage to them once.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Also, it starts at 100% commander groove strength.
Okay.
And decays by 20 for each unit outward it is.
All right. Okay.
So for example, this is 100. Oh, so this is uniquely the only groove in the game that cannot kill units. It can set them to a minimum of 10.
That sucks. Well, I mean, she would have killed the first 2 right away, so might be strong.
This is 100% groove damage. This is 80, 60, 40, 20, and it's 10.
It just stays at 10.
Its minimum damage is at 10, yeah.
Okay, alright.
For tier 1. Also, this codex entry is wrong for some reason. This is slow, not very slow.
Okay.
And for tier 2 is the same mechanic, but the decay is slower. It will now decay 10% groove damage instead of 20.
So it just has
for each unit.
Ooh.
Has the decay.
Okay.
Its minimum damage goes from 10% groove damage to 30%. So you'll always deal 30% groove damage to a giant blob if you hit it.
Alright.
So yeah, this is a 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30 here. Also, Pistil cannot hit herself with the groove.
Thank you.
So yeah, you can't go in a circle and use that. Also, do note, buildings are considered units.
That's right. Units. But you're kidding me. That's.
Yep.
That is so funny to me. I don't know why.
Also, yeah, neutral buildings still count for this as well. They are still technically units, so you can still use them for the chain.
Can they stand on a building to counterattack?
No.
Neither I can. They can only pass.
You can only pass through it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's kind of interesting. Anything else about her, or is that?
I think that's everything for mechanics.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I guess I forgot to say something a while back. I forgot to say if something does groove damage, it does damage to buildings as well. Say the stronghold, which is our HQ. So you can hit stuff like the stronghold with stuff like Groove.
It is a building, so
yeah.
All right. So let's see her Pistil. She's annoying. I can definitely say that. You make kind of like might make you want to spread your army apart, so you don't like get that annoying damage. Yeah, I'm just thinking about how important the thresholds are, or how important the thresholds could be in this game.
But I think the super groove, the tier 2 groove is like, obviously creates more of that threshold and could probably tear down an entire wall, depending on what the units are. Oh god, am I putting another character in A tier? How many? I have 7 people in A tier now. It looks so ridiculous.
Is it getting close to going off the screen? I'm not.
No, it is. It is not. But it is. I have 5 in S, 7 in A, 4 in B, 3 in C. Well, 2 in C, and one in my heart, and that's merciful. Dear. You know what? I think you can actually have a good follow up after this. I'm gonna put her in S tier.
All right. Moving on to Lytra, the novice mage.
Lytra, okay.
Because her groove is Song Cyclone. This is an interesting one. She rotates units around her.
Huh?
So for example, you can rotate. Let's say you can flip all units around her 180 degrees. This includes friendly and enemies. And any units that land on invalid terrain will die, and the friendly units that are moved will retain their turn.
Can she move commanders?
No.
Okay.
Any movement effect does not affect commanders.
Okay, alright.
She also does 35% groove damage to any enemies hit. This is actually a kind of weird number. This is the only character in the game that does 35.
Okay.
This is medium charge.
Alright.
And she's only able to rotate adjacent to her.
Okay.
And so for her tier 2 groove, it is a slow charge, and the radius expands to 2 tiles, does 50% groove damage to enemies, and inflicts the dizzy status effect, causing them to be unable to attack on their following turn.
Oh, they're unable to attack on the following turn?
Yes.
Okay.
If they're hit by the groove.
Right.
This is what the tier 2 could look like. So I rotate everything 90 degrees to the left.
Ooh!
And I just deleted a bunch of units on invalid terrain.
And enemies are dizzy.
Yeah, so they cannot attack. They can do every other action in the game besides attack.
How is this not Tenri's ability? Is that her name, Tenri?
Tenri is
Yeah. How is this not a Tenri ability? I feel like it makes more sense with her than Lytra. But
this feels like a more focused use of wind energy because it's like pulling something from far away, and this feels like something a bit more wild.
Oh, so like a yin and yang. Okay. All right.
The way I kind of feel like.
Okay. All right.
That's what it feels like to me.
Okay.
All right.
So I do remember saying a lot of times I love when you can use manipulate enemy movement.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite commanders to play.
The tier 1 isn't that doesn't feel that impressive, but if you're covering all of your units, making sure that your opponent doesn't get any free hits with this. But then again, would Tenri even want to use that on a single or 2 different units? Tier 2 I feel like is a lot more safer because it's just at least 1 tile away. Lytra. Oh man. Lytra, you are very... Don't resign. You're very funny.
Another funny, also, the dizzy units cannot attack and they can't counterattack.
Okay, that's good. What's the animation?
Also, I just find this one funny, because this is a priceless magical artifact, and she's just chucking it at the opponent.
Like a frisbee?
She's just, they actually play, in the story, she and her friend actually plays frisbee with it. Yes, this priceless artifact that is from a nation that was uncontrolling nations. Yes, only is tossed it.
Oh man. Ragnar's jealous right now. Okay, I feel like it's very niche. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. I feel like it's kind of niche, so it could be useful, but it's not the best thing in the world, so I think I'll put Lytra in B tier for now.
Alright, then. And actually, it looks like we're on to our final commander.
Yes, looks like we are. This,
and
I guess Jerry decided to grow up and work out.
And now for our final commander, we have Rhomb.
Oh my god!
His groove is Crystal Heart. He transforms himself into his beast form for a turn.
Okay.
Uh,
And he can move again?
Yes. What this does... Oh. What this does is, this refreshes his turn.
Okay.
It gives him +1 movement, 1.5 times defense, and 1.5 times attack.
Okay.
On his tier 1.
Alright,
Do note, however, that this only works against some stuff. He does not get a damage boost against buildings, probably to prevent annihilating Stronghold.
Yeah, Stronghold
And
cheese.
he only gets a 10% attack bonus against commanders, so he doesn't do like 68 to them in one hit.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a tier 1, and then tier 2. Tier 2, he gets a couple stat boosts, more stat boosts. Right, I forgot that is technically a different entity, so it does not open this. It goes up to 1.75 defense. He stays at 1.5 attack, gets +2 movement, and now he has 1 to 3 range.
Oh, nice. And can attack.
He can also
air units.
He can also attack air units. Yeah. Slightly unfortunately for Rhomb, instead of a plus 50% attack boost against air, he gets a minus 50% chance instead. He gets so he gets a penalty against anything that he could not hit normally, such as this warship.
That would be insane if he could.
And he stays in this form until the start of his next turn, where he reverts back. And notably, because this is actually Rhomb attacking, this is the only commander group that actually cares about Rhomb's health.
Oh my god!
Because it will scale. It will scale with his health.
Okay, wow. That's Oh, it scales with health. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because he's the one that's actually attacking.
Probably
Instead of
some
being,
lore thing I don't understand. Or
this form is based on his lore.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I have to learn that eventually. So
Also, one other last thing. One of the weird things is, during a turn you pop Groove, you can still get charge after you use it. Rhomb is the only seal that can't do that, probably because he is in a state that is not technically his normal commander form.
Okay. All right. So it just buffs himself, right?
Yes, it's only himself.
Okay. So he's gonna need to do something that will create like a good domino effect if you're gonna annihilate a big army.
He also does at least get a bunch of movement. He
does get a bunch of movement.
Travel.
That is good. Yeah, but
he does get up to 10 tiles in T2.
Yeah. I think I might put Rhomb on like a lower end. Oh man, I can't think of like the best case scenario other than like a little domino effect of getting that plus movement, plus range, and then your whole army can follow up with just that one attack. But it is just one attack, so man, I don't feel confident in this one, but I think I'm gonna put Rhomb in C tier.
All right then.
Yeah. And I think that
should be everybody.
should be everybody.
Yeah.